I'm First Deputy Superintendent Eric Carter. I'm joined here today by Alderman Anthony Beal, Ms. Joyce Chapman. She's the 5th District Advisory Committee Chairwoman, as well as Apostle Kente Duncan and Prophetess is Mary? No, I'm sorry, she's not here right now. We're also joined by Director Glenn Brooks, Chief Ernest Cato, Deputy Chief Larry Snelling, Commander Tyrone Pendarvis of the 5th District. Today, we're on the far south side, and I want to thank Deputy Chief Snelling and Commander Pendarvis and the officers for their tireless efforts in working to protect our communities. Over the weekend, we held a gun turn-in here at the Kingdom Word Church and another turn-in on the west side. From both events, we collected a total of 110 firearms. That's 110 less dangerous weapons on our streets that could potentially fall into the wrong hands and cause violence and heartbreak. Our thoughts remain with those who've lost someone to violence. That's why the Chicago Police Department won't stop working to bring justice to victims and their families. Still, across Chicago, homicides and shootings are down. Homicides are down 16% citywide, and shootings are down 19% compared to the same time frame last year. In the top 55 beats, where more than half of all city crime occurs, we've seen declines in shootings and homicides. Homicide decreases were 23%, and shootings dropped 29% compared to the same time period in 2021, when we began focusing on the top 55 beats. Citywide, month to date, violent crimes have decreased 7% compared to the same time period last year. Here in the 5th District, violent crimes have fallen 19% since the year began and 20% month to date. In addition, homicides are down 24% in the 5th District, and they've dropped 10% overall for Area 2 compared to the same time frame in 2021. Shootings fell 34% in the 5th District, while crime has dropped 29% in the area for this year. Violent crimes on the CTA are down 38% month to date compared to September of 2021, while overall crime has fallen 24% month to date. So far this year, officers have taken almost 9,600 guns off the streets of Chicago. The department is dedicated to recruitment, and our efforts are paying off. We've had 588 recruit hires so far in 2022, and our next class begins September 30th. Our latest round of in-person entrance exams were held over the weekend at each of the city colleges, and there will be more in-person test dates to come. We're also committed to engaging the community in every aspect. Officers remain proactive in our neighborhoods and initiating positive interactions. It is all a part of our restoring community trust and enhancing public safety. Right now, I'll bring up Director Glenn Brooks for a few words. Director Brooks.
Thank you, First. I just want to really highlight the partnership this weekend that was illustrated with the gun turn-in. This is a program that only succeeds with the partnerships of our faith-based community, but most importantly, our community members. Over 110 people came in anonymously and turned in weapons, from that rifle to that assault weapon to that handgun. Wherever they found them in their house, they were able to turn that weapon with no questions asked. This continues on a yearly basis, but just as importantly, I can't tell you how many community members come together and work with us, whether that's their beat meeting, whether that is during the weekend we held a soccer clinic, whether that is through the problem solving and community engagements that are conducted each and every weekend. This last weekend we conducted over 35 engagements throughout the city. And one of our most staunch volunteers and community leaders is Ms. Joyce Chapman here in the 5th District. She's our DAC chair. Let me introduce Ms. Joyce Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. I didn't hear no claps, though. Okay. Let me just say, I've been working with 5th District for over 20 years. People say, Joyce, why are you still working with them? They're the police. I have the most utmost respect for the police. Yes, they have their faults. Yes, there is a trust factor, But at the end of the day, if we as community, let me pause and let that marinate, community, and I have been saying this for over 20 years, us as community, we got to do our part. Such as on September 30th, Friday, September 30th, 2022, we're going to have a march out in the Argyle Gardens, starting at 4 p.m. with our mighty, mighty Commander Padarvis and our Sergeant Vivian Williams, and all who will come and be involved in this process. You know, on August 6th, we held a faith-based, the faith-based committee held the Peace Summit right there in Palmer Park. And I could go on and on. Our National Night Out, it was over 1,000 people there. Community coming together. So we stand on the sidelines, and that's where we're going to be, on the sidelines. It's predicated upon us as community working with our district, which is the mighty, mighty 5th District. I know there's other districts that are mighty, mighty too, but at the end of the day, we live here in the 5th District. So everyone who live in the 5th District, you could call 312-747-3100. And this is my number, 773-614-3384. I need everyone, whatever district you're in, be a partner with your Chicago Police Department. Thank you.
Now we'll take a few questions if you have any.
Good morning. Mariano Kiris with Univision Chicago. There was an attack in the Red Line during the weekend or last week, and I was wondering if there's any update in investigations. This passenger that was attacked with his own power line.
I'll bring up Deputy Chief Muhammad from the Detective Division. He can give you any update on that.
Good morning. So as it relates to that attack that happened on the Red Line, it is definitely an ongoing investigation. We are working to try to attempt to work with this victim in this incident. We feel that we've got a person of interest that we're looking to interview, but we're going to be needing the help of the victim in this incident as well.
I know we are in the midst of a mayoral campaign. One of the candidates, who's alderman of the 15th Ward, he's advising the city to reinstate police force that has jurisdiction in the public transportation. Would you agree? Would you advise on such a move? Would it be a relief to the Chicago Police Department?
Chicago Police Department already has a public transit section that works specifically on the public transit line throughout the entire CTA, bus and rail. And we work in conjunction with the CTA's security. We have layered security, private as well as police department. So I think we're doing a very good job, and we've increased our manpower with the CTA for the public transit details. So I think we're doing pretty good.
Good
Yes,
morning,
ma'am.
Lisa Rios with Telemundo Chicago. Yesterday morning in the West Loop, a woman was about to be kidnapped. It was an attempted abduction. I would like to know what you can share, what is the latest in the investigation, and also, the police said that there were an incident, a similar incident like 2 months ago. Neighbors are very concerned. What you can say about that?
Again, Deputy Chief Muhammad will address that from the Texas Division.
Good morning. So after that incident, we were able to track this this individual to the train. We put out a seeking to identify with this picture. We blasted that out to the public. So we're working with the victim as well as the public to help us to identify this individual and this person of interest. As it relates to the separate crime that happened a few months ago, we don't believe that those two are related based off of the two victims' accounts. This one victim that happened Saturday morning at 8:45, that was a lone individual that was involved in that we're looking for. Older male black. With the separate incident that happened a few months ago, we're looking at 3 individuals, younger male black subjects that was involved in that incident. So we haven't ruled it out, but we're thinking that it is not related to that. However, we've put out seeking to identify. We're working with the public as far as trying to identify the individuals in both situations, and I believe that with the citizens and the community's help, we can do that expeditiously.
Hi, David, Fox 32.
Yes, sir.
Can you provide any kind of update on the status of the officer, the off-duty officer that was shot last week, and the status of that investigation?
Once again, Deputy Munger. You don't want to interfere with that.
So at this point, I cannot provide an update on that. There is an investigation internally, so that has to play itself out. But what I can say is that our officer has been released. She is recovering from her injuries, and we're working with her to identify the individual that was involved.
Yes, ma'am.
Andrea Rosino with WGN. Could you be able to provide us an update or anything else on the investigation with the 3-year-old that died at Andover last week or just recently died?
Sure. First of all, I want to say, as a parent, you know, and as we all are, our hearts, prayers, and just our sincere condolences goes out to the family of that 3-year-old toddler. But what I can say is that at this point, the charging updates would be up to the state's attorney's office. The Chicago police, we've investigated. That individual has been charged with the attempt murder. So as far as an upgrade, that will be left up to the state's attorney's office.
All right. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it.